And here on DawgNation, happy to have Georgia quarterback Gunner Stockton stopping by. And after what has been a busy day for you here thus far, at least I would imagine it has been, quarterbacks always get a lot of attention. New quarterbacks get even more attention than that. What has media days been like for you here now?
It's been great. Just being able to kind of be myself and just talk about the team. And it's a cool part just being here on their behalf has been awesome.
And really, in a lot of ways, what you went through in New Orleans, I'm talking about leading your first start and the size of having a media throng that was gathered around you that day. By comparison, I mean, this may not be quite as big as that was because that's a playoff game. That's you're kind of thrust in that moment. So you may have actually faced even more questions that day, maybe, than you are even right now,
I think
right?
so, a little bit more. It was a little bit different, but today's been great, and I've enjoyed it being here.
What did you learn about that first start, either about yourself or, what's happening on the field? What was your experience? What did you learn from that time on the field in that game?
I think it was just having to deal with the emotions of a game and just the ebbs and flows of it. And just because I hadn't played a game in a little bit since when I went in for the Texas game, but just having to get that back and just enjoying it and being around each other is the biggest thing, as I learned, and just enjoying the moment.
Well, you bring up something I think it's interesting. Like, obviously, I have no idea what it feels like to be a quarterback in the SEC, but I can certainly imagine it must be weird as a backup quarterback when you're standing there. And, you're, of course, you're going to be ready to go in the game, but also that's a moment that may never come. And in some seasons, the quarterback just stays healthy the entire time. I can only imagine what it must be like when you see Carson go down and you're obviously concerned for his health, but then you realize this is my moment, and I got to go in here and help my team try to win an SEC championship. What's it like going from sidelines to kind of a heroic performance when you would have woken up that morning having no idea that was on the way for you?
It was crazy. When Carson went down, I didn't really know, if he was going to be okay or not. And going into halftime, it was probably midway through halftime. We've been sitting there, and Coach Bo was like, "Hey, you're up. Carson's down." And it was just, like I said, the emotions and everything, dealing with it was experience and a good moment. But it was just, looking back, it was a neat moment and experience just to be able to go through that.
And, of course, the one thing in the game that everybody remembers is courageous play by you. You keep the football. You scrambled for some yards. You took the big hit. You held on to the football. And I think that kind of leads to some curiosity about this season of how much do you want your legs? How much do you think Mike Bobo, this Georgia offense, do they want to utilize some of the mobility that you showed in that moment? How much of a part of your playing personality do you think that'll be for this season?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I think if you can run as a quarterback, it's always good, and being able to use your legs when you can. And that just comes with being smart and just knowing when you can and can't do it. So that's a big part.
And, of course, this is a Georgia offense that, in addition to bringing in a new quarterback, is also trying to figure some stuff out. Kirby Smart talked a lot during spring practice about wanting to be better when the team runs the ball. That's a point of emphasis that Smart's shared with fans and media. What's the path like to get that offensive improvement? What does that require from Georgia?
I think just being consistent and just showing up every day and doing what our coaches have told us, and just working hard. And the biggest thing, just being consistent, like I said, and just having fun while you do it.
Of course, you're very comfortable in your own skin. This type of media stuff does not seem to be a huge problem for you. You seem to handle it all in stride, and yet you also know that there's a very big conversation happening around Georgia football all the time, and there are big questions, and obviously some of that has kind of related to the Georgia offense. When you see criticism, when you see these big questions, when you see some people kind of wondering, hey, what's next for a team after you kind of get used to national championships in 2021 and 2022, and when that doesn't happen in 2023 and 2024, what do you think about some of the kind of just big topics and questions and criticism that kind of comes Georgia's way? And now you're kind of at the center of that. What's it like, I guess, to be a part of that conversation, whether you want to be or not?
Yeah, I think at Georgia you're always going to have a lot of critics and a lot of fans too. And but at Georgia we always try to just keep it inside the building and just kind of, I don't know if you put your blinders on, but just kind of, it's all about us. So that's been awesome at Georgia.
What do you think of Ryan Puglisi?
He's awesome. He's been a great friend, and since he's been here, we kind of hit it off when we first got here, and he's a great player and a great friend, like I said.
Of course, North Georgia kid and a kid from Connecticut, probably a little bit of a different background, maybe, I guess. Any kind of, like, I guess, cultural divide that had to be bridged on that?
Yeah, we grew up. He went to a private school and a boarding school actually, and but it's a little different. But he's awesome. He's a great guy.
You were at the Manning Passing Academy recently. That's a chance to rub elbows with a lot of the big quarterbacks in college football. Other quarterbacks have said, including a guy that I think you know, Jake Fromm, about how instrumental a moment like that was in their development. What was it like for you to be around other great quarterbacks at an event like that?
Yeah, it was great. Just getting to meet everybody and just cut it up and talk to them and just kind of see how everybody is, and it was a neat experience, and getting to see the Manning family and how they treat people and how they handle themselves was awesome.
There are 10 other quarterbacks in addition to you at SEC Media Days this week. Do you talk much with other SEC quarterbacks? Do you have much of a relationship with guys that are not at Georgia? I mean, very few people understand what it's like to be at a place like Georgia as the quarterback. Other SEC quarterbacks, though, would have similar experiences. How much of a relationship do you have with other quarterbacks?
I think that was the coolest part about the Manning Passing Academy. Just getting to talk to everybody, and like for example, Ty Simpson. I hadn't really talked to him a lot since we went to a camp at Alabama together, and like when we were in high school, and it was just cool getting to kind of catch up and talk about everything that's happened. So it was pretty special.
I'll finish with this. Georgia is breaking in and introducing a kind of a new crop of receivers this year. I think it's 7 new receivers in total. Obviously, the 2 transfers, Zachariah Branch, Noah Thomas. You've got incoming freshmen, guys that have gotten attention like Talon Taylor, C.J. Wiley. There are others. Those are some of the names that get the most attention. As you've been working this summer, establishing chemistry with these guys, or just sort of watching them go through summer workouts, are there receivers for you that have stood out, and are there guys that either because of their work ethic or just their sheer ability that kind of stand out in your mind as you get ready to go into fall camp?
I think like you were saying, the receivers, they came in, there's a bunch of new guys and guys that have been there for a long time, and just the way they go attack every day and show up to work, and they aren't complaining, or always have a positive attitude, and it's hard to do to be consistent, like I said earlier, but they make it easy to go and play and work out and do all the stuff that ain't too fun. They make it easy. So.
You have a goal for yourself or your team this year?
I think obviously at Georgia you want to win every game, and that's the best thing about being at Georgia. That's the standard. So that's the privilege, and I look forward to just enjoying every moment with the guys and just embracing it.
Well, Gunner Stockton, it's a privilege to talk to you here today. Look forward to seeing how the season plays out. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
Gunner Stockton there, Georgia quarterback, here as a part of SEC Media Days.